pleasure to introduce our first keynote speaker of this morning, and that's Mark Dawe. Known to many of you, Mark is the Chief Executive of the Skills Network, formerly Chief Executive of AELP, formerly a Principal of a college. He's well versed in what the FE sector is all about. He has a wonderful sartorial dress. We are wearing matching shirts today, but that's about it. It's a pleasure to welcome Mark. Thank you. Please welcome Mark.
Thank you. A bit like Dawe, every time he serves, check my glasses, blow my nose, check my zips done up, things like that. So it's really great. It's a privilege actually to be here on your 110th anniversary, and really great that we could be the headline sponsor. I got a bag, a speaker's bag, and it didn't have a mug in. So I'm rather sad and disappointed about that. And then there's the big tie, no tie debate. So on the conference on Tuesday, our Maths and English conference, decided no tie because post-COVID, all of that. And there was Paul Joyce in a tie, said Amanda Spielman makes them wear ties when they speak at conferences. So today I thought I'd wear a tie. There's Paul Eales, no tie. So it's going to be the new thing, I think. I haven't got any slides. If I have slides, I don't keep up with them. I go all wrong and everything, so I'm afraid you're just going to have to watch me or look at a picture of me. We've all got this little book in our bag, haven't we? Today I'll make a difference. Well, this is my one chance, I'm afraid, to make a difference, so please help me. Please take something away from this, and then I will have made a difference. I was going to start off by saying the 6th of March, 1992. Anyone know what that was? What happened then? Well, yes, so the Further and Higher Education Act of 1992, 6th of March, I think, and then it was enacted in April 93, I think. We haven't really celebrated those landmark dates much through the years, so I think there's a great opportunity coming up, April 93, to celebrate that. But let's say it's 30 years now, when the Act came in. I joined in 93, I was an accountant. You know, suddenly accountants appeared in colleges, and thank God, if you saw what I was handed. So I've actually been here, it was a bit scary when I did the maths, 29 years, so I'm either an old lag, a has-been, or a wise sage, and again, I'll let you decide on that, but not quite 110 years in the sector. So I was at Canterbury College, I was part of the last tech boom, DFE Skills for Life, remember the Gremlins, that was 20 years ago. Oakland's principal, OCR, ALP, did a little session as a commissioner, but don't hold that against me. And now there's the Skills Network. So sort of I've seen skills and education, adults learning, young people learning, assessment, delivery, policy making, defending, attacking. So I've seen things from a lot of angles through that time, and I was sort of, because I didn't get a title for this keynote, I thought, well, what on earth am I going to speak about? So I'm going to talk a little bit about FE and my view of FE, and then what the Skills Network are trying to do. And there's a real theme in here about partnership and working together. But we are regulated. We're probably one of the most, definitely worst regulated countries, and our sector is incredibly regulated. We've got ESFA, Ofsted, Ofqual, IFE, OFS, DFE, and through my time, DFE-E, DFE-S, BIS, you know, we've had the whole lot, which is a real pain, isn't it? But actually, when you look internationally, when you go international, they really respect what we do because there are people there checking the quality, making sure it is of a level. We all have our problems with inspections and stuff, but actually there's a real quality level there that's guaranteed. And that sells well internationally, as well as actually guarantees a level in this country. And my God, what do we deliver? Study programs, apprenticeships, AEB, UK prosperity funds come along, traineeships, Kickstart, Multiplies coming along. Are we going to have a READ initiative after the Multiply initiative or a Divide initiative? I'm not sure T-levels, higher technicals. You can all list them all out. There's a lot that the sector does. And skills have never been so high up on the policy agenda. in my years, and my dad was in further and higher education, never has skills been talked about and apprenticeships been talked about by the Prime Minister, by the Chancellor, by other Secretaries of State. It's just never been like that. So, firstly, big tick. You know, we are in a place where it is a key issue that everyone has identified, you know, and the CBI and everyone are behind that. And skills is levelling up as far as I'm concerned. It is core to levelling up, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, that's a theme running through this conference in a way about the opportunity and the levelling up. However, you know, the phrase that I hate the most, but I am going to use it, the forgotten 50%. I hate that phrase because no one in this room forgot that 50%. It was the politicians and the policies that forgot the 50%. And apparently they're not forgotten anymore. Hurrah! We might as well all go home and get on with something else. Not forgotten anymore while AEB funding's halved, while it's the worst funding rates across education, worst support during COVID across the education sector, and no coherent policy. But apart from that, we've remembered them. Right, so I'm not here to moan. That was my last job, okay? I'm sort of reflecting then on all of that. To be honest, it's never been any different. And it never will be. Politically, we're just not going to get there the same way HE and schools do. We're at probably the best place we'll ever be. We've got the Chancellor announcing 500 million for Multiply. It was his initiative. It was not sort of DFE begging for money. We're in the best place I think we'll ever be. I'm sure we can lever out more bits, but I don't think it's going to change. There's always change in FE, but I don't think our position will change. We will engage with employers ourselves, but when it comes to government and stuff, I think we have to work out how to do the best we can with the position we're in. And simplification, forget it. I mean, how can you simplify a system that goes from entry level to level 7, is national, devolved, regional, local, young people, adults, every sector is served, every industrial sector, every sector we do, maths, English, ESOL, digital, right the way through to green tech and data analysts. I wrote beer, brickies and beauticians here as well when I was trying to get in a flow. And, you know, we've got colleges, we've got adult ed, we've got ICPs, we've got employer providers, again, there are others as well. So, you know, how can you simplify a system like that? Short courses, 2-year courses, things in between, part-time, full-time. It is not a simple system. So I'm not actually an advocate of simplification because I don't think it can work and can support everyone that we're trying to support as a sector. So it's about sort of fighting for those individuals and making sure there's the money for them. I mean, the simple thing would just be to drop money on organisations, say, get on with it, do it. I get that. But it's again, I'm afraid, having been through every funding system, I don't know if any of you remember units, that was a fun one, and weighted FTEs, and, you know, we've been through every possibility. It's whatever they pick causes problems. So my argument is around we need to be efficient, we need to be responsive, and my view is that is through collaboration and building on everyone's strengths, using everyone's strengths and not trying to do everything. Every organisation has strengths and weaknesses. When I was in ALP, and actually the other week I was asked, so what's better, a college or an ITP? Right? Slightly loaded question from a college principal. Both have their place. Both have their place. You know, colleges are place-based, they're in their community, they're part of the community. They should be the first place people walk into when they're thinking about vocational. They can't easily do, and this is a generalisation, I know there are examples across both that are different. They can't easily do some of the stuff that ITPs do, given their structure and given what else they're being asked to do. So why don't we work together more? And it's been my frustration ever since joining FE in '93. I've used this a lot. We had a bunch of electricians in their office with a drawer each of finding, and they locked it every evening with their acetates in, so the other electrician lecturers wouldn't take them and use them, right? That's in a college, in a one department they weren't sharing, let alone across the sector. I thought, when I joined, and I was a slightly naive, sort of young person that thought everything would work normally and smoothly and make sense. 400 colleges, 400 courses sort of thing. Why didn't one college create all the resource, do all the teacher training and share it across the country? Why didn't that happen? I still don't know. Well, I do know, but that would make sense to me. And there's a lot of waste of resource with everyone doing the same things. This comes back to my collaboration, sharing, driving efficiency, driving responsiveness. At the Skills Network, we can develop an online resource in weeks. I've got 50 staff who are graphic designers, videographers. We've got what we call e-learning scientists, and I'm never going to let them out of the building because otherwise they'll be snapped up. They're amazing. They're amazing. The way they think about the e-learning, and I'll pick a bit more about that. But I'm not going to run an engineering block. I can't. The Skills Network are an online provider, either fully online or helping with blended learning. I can't provide the support to high-needs students. I can provide things that help the support. That's going to happen in colleges and other providers. I'm not going to run sports academies. I might provide resource for sports academies. So that's one of my main points here today, is the Skills Network can do things to support, as well as doing it ourselves. And, when I say you, I know there's a lot of colleges in the room, but plus a range of others. Always used to tell people off when I was at ALP for saying colleges rather than ITPs and colleges, and got Simon down here who'll be giving me a good slap round the face afterwards. But colleges and other providers with classrooms and things, they can give digital access to students. What we can do is give learning accessible through digital. And one of the things we've seen a lot is actually the learners. We enroll about 30 to 40,000 learners a year on the adult ed programs. Loads of them would never have done that course if it wasn't online, if it didn't give them the flexibility, their care, they've got caring responsibilities, either young families or they've got shift work or just work. They can't turn up every Tuesday at 6 o'clock for something. So again, we provide a different sort of access to others. And I've always thought, when I was at Oakland's College, Bluewater was being built, big shopping centre in Kent. And I thought, why can't colleges and other providers be like Bluewater? So, you run the building, you make an amazing building in the area. You might be running some of the shops yourself because you're really good at that, but then you bring in the best to run the other bits. Why is everyone struggling to be brilliant at absolutely everything? None of us can do that. Why not bring in the best? And I don't think there's any shame in that, actually. I think it's a positive thing. There's no shame saying, I can't do that, I can't do it as well as them. As I said, we spend tens of thousands, say on an adult ed program that we run, tens and tens of thousands on developing that resource, and we sell it for 30 quid a learner, right? 30 quid a learner for a 500 to 800 pound program, and actually some learners will get through the whole lot without any intervention or support. At Chinese women age 50, apparently, from our data. If you want to know who's going to pass our course, enroll a Chinese woman in her 50s. They all pass with no support. So I'm targeting our social media there. And data, my God, what you can do with the data. That's, again, another talk. But my point there is, you don't have to spend those thousands, and there's lots of options, and the same with other resource that we produce. And online, COVID obviously was in the online world was a great boost in the sense that people had to do it. And I think one of the challenges I had at Oaklands was getting over that bump of staff and students sort of using it. Well, COVID forced it, and there were some positives and negatives. So it's here to stay, I believe. It allows you to track, it allows you to support, it gives you world-class resources. You can find the best person in the world to deliver that program. You can then bespoke those resources. You can do face-to-face online, as we've all discovered, but with that blended learning. And I just think there's a real opportunity there in terms of looking at, it's like flipped learning, isn't it? Everyone talks about flipped learning. It was a great concept, blah, blah, blah. And you've got flipped learning, you've got individualised support. How do you give, with the funding there is, how do you give individualised support to every learner? Well, if the core knowledge and skills are done for 30 quid and you've got £800, you've got a lot of money then to support the learner. And that, to me, is the mindset to shift into. Let's shift as much as we can that works into this really efficient delivery. The learners actually really like it, and then let's find other ways of supporting, not all learners, I saw a bit of a grim face there, not all learners like it, but in certain areas, in certain ways, the learners like it. So that's the thing to look at. And we've helped with catch-up funding, employability, we did a sexual consent resource, which is flying off the shelves, sadly. Sort of blended learning apprenticeships, the Skills Development Fund, those bidding into Skills Development Fund, we've got to sustain, everyone's bidding for green at the moment, come on, be honest. Who hasn't bid a Skills Development Fund that's some sort of green, sustainable thing? So we've got a sustainability level 2 and a level 4 that people can use as part of that, but also we can create resource for organisations, and then if you want, we can go and sell it to others if you want as well. So, and multiply, loads of money just being dumped locally, and now there's an expectation it's delivered. What on earth is that going to look like? How's it going to be done? We've got chunked up resource of maths that could be used. So when thinking about this, work together. So I'm running out of time, I think. Yes, this is that knowing smile. Stretch it out a little bit. So we work with the Skills and Education Group, been fantastic work. We've done the resource around MOT. It's been a bumpy journey, getting that working well, but really, really fantastic resource and a great working partner. Workers' rights, there's a standout there. We've done the resource for that. Personal licence holder, and there will be more. And again, I don't want to do the assessment. I've worked in OCR for 5 years and got hit over there by Ofqual every day. I don't want to do that, but I'd love to support those assessments, those qualifications, and work with the providers as well. Of course, it's great for us as an organisation, if you all use us. What I'm saying, hopefully, it's great for you as well as organisations and something to think about. So, in summary, FE, it is a complex and changing world. It always has been, it always will be. If we work together and work clever, I think we can be the stars of the education sector. We're forced to be innovative. We're forced to be responsive. We will be at the core of levelling up. There's no one else that can do it like the FE sector can do it. The 50% won't be forgotten, and nor will we. So happy 110, and really pleased to be here today. Thank you.